Daylight, my MVVs, welcome.
Report has it that Ebony, Igby, and Gospel were very upset and they cried so much, cried openly. It was very humiliating what had happened to them. Now, when Naomi stepped into the palace, usually, you know, when Naomi comes with a lot of influence. People tend to come for her. Like each time Naomi steps into the palace, you see a lot of people trying to gain access so they can greet her, women and all of that. And that was exactly the same thing that happened when she came into the palace. But this time, she came to spend the night with Dr. Lizzie, and it was because of that prayer. Now, when she came, she was ushered straight to meet with the Oni of Ife. And you do know that when Naomi stepped in, Dr. Lizzie's mom had been pre-informed that Naomi was coming for prayer, so Dr. Lizzie's mom was there. And so when they were about to start that prayer, Naomi was inside. Naomi's sister Simi was there. Adetutu was there. Adetutu's aunt was there. Dr. Lizzie's mother was there. Paropo's wife was there. A lot of people and some Ayabas, they were all there, okay? They had come to support what was going on. And so they were with the Oni of Ife inside the first chamber, okay? They were there with the Oni of Ife. Now, Oni was having this conversation with them. And you do know that right now, as it is in the palace, Adetutu, Olori, Naomi, and Dr. Lizzie, they have a very strong alliance. Right now, it's looking as though these are the three women that Kabiyesi trusts with everything. And you know, for a king to trust these women like this, they may have given the king a very good reason to trust them, okay? And so they were there, they were having this conversation, waiting, because the prayer was supposed to start midnight, but you know, they start worship and all of that very early. They're supposed to start the worship around 10, 11 through midnight, small word of God and all of that. So they were with the Oni of Ife, and we heard that this was when these women, Gospel, Ebony, and Igby tried to gain access, like they wanted to come and meet with other women who were with the Oni of Ife. Dr. Lizzie was the one who came to the door and saw that they were the ones. Like, you know, when the security, the palace guard, the one responsible for the Oni of Ife, when it came to the door to tell them that there were people at the door, and you know, Dr. Lizzie came and saw that there were these three women, and Dr. Lizzie went back and did not say anything. Later, the palace guard asked if they should open. Dr. Lizzie said no, and that really, really made them very, very angry. Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Delaram. I bring you fresh and spicy just from the sources still on the royals. How are you guys doing? I appreciate you guys so much. I love your show. I do well, my people. If you're yet to subscribe, kindly go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and do not forget to turn on the notification bell, and do not forget to give this video a thumbs up. Daylight, my daylight, my daylight, my own people. Daylight, my daylight, my daylight, my support people. Esheo, adukbeo, my people. I love you guys so much. They said when Queen Naomi stepped, like I have told you that when Queen Naomi stepped into the palace for the special prayer section, the entire atmosphere shifted. Everyone felt it wasn't just another ordinary gathering. This one was, you know, different. Sorry about that phone. That not sound. My phone, this thing failed. Okay. Yes, it was different because the Oni of Ife himself had personally asked, you know, Naomi to come and pray for Dr. Lizzie after the shocking revelation that an evil hand had been behind her years of pain and pregnancy losses. Naomi came not as a visitor, not as any other thing, but as the spiritual, the one with the spiritual covering that, you know, Dr. Lizzie would be needing at the time. Before, you know, the prayer even began, something happened that cut deep into, you know, the heart of Ebony, Igby, and Gospel. Naomi was ushered straight to the palace of the Oni of Ife with Adetutu, and, you know, I have told you all of what happened, okay? and Ebony, Gospel, and Igby, they tried to gain access. They were not allowed access. They cried so much, okay? They cried so much. They cried. Ebony and Igby and, Gospel cried because they saw their place in the palace shrinking before their very eye. They cried because for the first time they understood that their voices didn't matter in that moment. They cried because the Oni did not rise from his chair, did not step aside to call them. They cried because Oni of Ife knew that they were the ones who wanted to enter and they were not allowed to enter, and Kabiyesi said nothing about it. That was something that really broke their heart. How can the man we call our husband sit silently and watch us be disgraced like this? Ebony screamed, her voice cracking. Are we not women of this palace too? Igby shouted, why must Naomi always be the chosen one? And now Dr. Lizzie and Adetututu are they're better than us, they say. Gospel cried. Their pain was raw, their tears were heavy, but the truth which they refused to accept is that this is not about favoritism alone. The Oni of Ife wanted privacy, he wanted the circle he trusted, and right now the circle did not include them. They say Queen Naomi, Adetutu, and Dr. Lizzie were not just, the only women in the palace. So there were other women also, like, Dr. Lizzie's mother was also there. And, Oni had felt like these people represented something larger, a new power block inside the palace. They only trusted their loyalty, their spirituality, and their wisdom, and he was not ready to let the noise of rivalry disrupt it. And maybe that was why Kabiyesi did nothing to try and get them in, because they said all they wanted was access to be there with the Oni of Ife. They wanted to be part of the prayer because they had all been told that the reason why Naomi was there was to pray for Dr. Lizzie. Now, upon knowing the things that Dr. Lizzie has gone through, the suffering, the tears, and everything, they wanted to support Dr. Lizzie, to let Dr. Lizzie know that, look, she is not alone, because the revelation from the woman who cried, was something that went round the palace. Everybody knew, because they said the woman used her mouth to say that, she had cried because of Dr. Lizzie, and that she was fighting Dr. Lizzie blindly. She didn't know that Dr. Lizzie they said there were some things that the woman said herself before she died, because she was crying and screaming Lizzie's name, that she was not the only one that ate the babies. She was not the only one that ate the babies. She kept saying those things before she cried. Even before the son came, even before the Ifa priest came, they had already known that this had got something to do with Kabiyesi's wife, Dr. Lizzie, and that this woman had been the one, causing all the problems for that lady. So because everybody knew what was going on, people came, Ayaba came, women, well-meaning people, they came to support Dr. Lizzie, encouraging her, letting her know that at the end of the day, the person who had caused all the problem has had to pay for everything, and it is only God who could have made something like this to happen. So these women also said they wanted to support Dr. Lizzie, and that was why they were there in the first place. And the fact that, they were not given the opportunity to support Dr. Lizzie the way they would have wanted to support Dr. Lizzie, and they were thrown out even when Kabiyesi was there, is something that, made them to cry. They felt so bad. But it was such a humiliation with the way they were locked out as if they are not part of the royal family. I'm going to bring you more update. Do not forget that these are all alleged, rumored, unverified information making the rounds on social media and should not be seen as fact.